what is the experience of people who are trying to use GoFundMe to support people in Gaza, for example, or Palestine in general?
The experiences that I've heard of and that I've experienced also myself in assisting somebody with a GoFundMe have ranged from basically problems with the main problem has been withdrawing the money, which entailed a very lengthy interrogation process, is the only way I can really put it. It's racist and discriminatory and clearly loaded with accusatory kind of language or accusatory tone, let's say, for life-saving money that people should be able to access, which there's been no issue raising the money, to the tune of tens of thousands. But as soon as the money is requested, suddenly GoFundMe has asked many intrusive questions, which are also breaching people's privacy and security, including the full names of every single recipient of the money, the location and their passport or identity documents, like information. Now, this stuff is incredibly sensitive information sometimes. I mean, even for me or you, let alone somebody who is currently in an enclosed open air prison being bombarded 24 hours, 7 days a week, amounting to genocide under the bombs of a fascist state, which has no secret in sharing its surveillance. The heightened surveillance of this state is undeniable as well. So people are extremely endangered by these questions that GoFundMe ask. And it's not only the risk of danger that is increased. Anyway, they're already in Gaza under bombardment, facing starvation. But the next level of the questioning reveals not just their poor ethics, but the fact that they have no grasp on the situation as a company, but also that it's like it's a replication of white supremacist tendencies, in my opinion, to try to ask people to give a complete black and white transparency about the expenditure of money in order to flee a genocide, when the levels of corruption and the intersections of corruption that are at play here you cannot answer these questions. Actually, you cannot answer where exactly will every penny be spent to ensure the safe evacuation of your family from Palestine. Why is this the question of the Palestinian person? Why should they answer this question?
So I just come in. I mean, that Ukraine is the example again to compare this with. With Ukraine, GoFundMe, we're not asking the kind of questions there. So if someone wanted to raise money for Ukraine, they could kind of just withdraw the money almost as soon as it had reached the target or whatever it is that they do with GoFundMe. Is that really the crux of this, the comparison with Ukraine?
Now, the product itself of GoFundMe, the chief product and technology officer is an Israeli Zionist called Arnie Katz, who studied in Israel and who served in the occupation army. Now, when you have someone like this building a product, of course, their inherent bias goes into the coding. When I asked the chatbot, I would like to ask a question about a donation I made to a Palestinian family in Gaza who are trying to survive genocide, the immediate response from this chatbot was, "We do not understand this question. Would you like to donate to Ukraine?" Now, this is exactly like the problem, like it's societal, it's in the minds of people, it's the bias, it's the prejudice, and it seeps into the technology too. So these things automatically get blocked also, down to the names and certain phrases that might be even in the text description of a fundraiser. So if it's Ukraine, it's one thing. If it's Palestine, it's another. Also, I was looking at one forum discussing this topic, and I saw, one user had commented that, in Ukraine, there were many militias fighting there, also who fall under kind of, let's say, terrorist organizations. And there was no problem taking any money for people trying to leave Ukraine or support Ukraine or anything like this. Now I'm talking with many different people about their experiences with GoFundMe, and I find that, yes, they have done many fundraisers before for different situations, for different topics, but now that the situation is regarding Palestine, there's an immediate block on funds, there's interrogation processes, there's lengthy waits, and this is all while, of course, people are literally dying every second.